Welcome to 3 Mindset Hacks for the Successful First-Year Teacher.
Hi, my name is Blossom Ojukwu. I'm currently in my 3rd year of teaching, and over the course of my 3 years in the classroom, I've cultivated mindful strategies that have helped me grow as an educator, relieve stress, set meaningful goals, but most importantly, equip my students to enjoy learning. In this video, I'll be sharing with you 3 mindset hacks that have changed the game for me and are guaranteed to help you too.
By the end of this video, you will be able to explain and apply our 3 mindset hacks, which are developing a growth mindset, growing through reflection, and embodying the role of a co-learner. Let's start with developing a growth mindset. 2 basic mindsets shape our lives: the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. The fixed mindset assumes that our character, intelligence, and creative ability are static and we can't change in any meaningful way. The fixed mindset avoids challenges, sees effort as a fruitless endeavor, ignores useful feedback, and feels threatened by the success of others. A fixed mindset says, I can't do this. This work is good enough. This is too hard. We want to disagree with the feelings of a fixed mindset because it holds us back from our journey to success. The growth mindset, on the other hand, thrives on challenge and sees failure not as an evidence of unintelligence, but as an opportunity for growth and gaining new skills. A growth mindset persists in the face of setbacks, learns from criticism, and finds lessons and inspiration in the success of others. A growth mindset says, is this really my best work? I can try a different strategy. This may take some time and effort. We should strive to cultivate a growth mindset because it enables us to reach higher goals. Take a moment to reflect. What mindset do you see evidence of? Let's look at ways for developing a growth mindset. First, identify your own self-defeating, fixed mindset thinking. Recognize those feelings of powerlessness and disagree with them. Take ownership of your thoughts and remind yourself of your growth mindset goals. Next, follow the research on brain plasticity. The brain is not fixed. Your mind shouldn't be either. Research on brain plasticity says the brain has the ability to adapt to changes. In other words, you can increase your intelligence and skill set with the right mindset. Lastly, provide regular opportunities for reflection. Research supports that reflection leads to deeper learning and higher levels of knowledge retention. So give yourself an opportunity to reflect. This will help you reach your growth mindset goals more effectively. The journey to a growth mindset is not linear. It has its ebbs and flows. It is advised to teach the growth mindset to your students. That way, you all can keep yourselves accountable. It's never too early or late to begin. As Professor Carol Dweck says, the growth mindset is the new psychology for success. Let's move to the second mindset hack, the reflective practitioner. What is reflection? In its simplest form, reflection is looking in the mirror and describing what you see. Megan Jenkins from Student Life CU adds, reflection is thinking about how what has happened can be used to improve future outcomes. Who is the reflective practitioner? A reflective practitioner builds and examines knowledge about learners, the culture of schooling, and the context in which teaching and learning occur. The reflective practitioner uses their observations to renew and maximize the teaching process. Teachers who reflect on the past are able to plan for a more effective future. In 1988, Professor Gibbs from the University of Edinburgh developed a reflective cycle of 6 stages that offers structure to learning from our experiences. Stage 1 is the description of the experience. Stage 2 are your feelings and thoughts about the experience. Stage 3 is the evaluation of the experience, both good and bad. Stage 4 is the analysis, to make sense of the situation. Stage 5 is your conclusion about what you learned and what you could have done differently. And Stage 6 is the action plan for how you would deal with similar situations in the future. Let's hear a real-life example from our guest, Mr. Hines, a first-year high school math teacher.
Hi, my name is Mr. Hines, and I'm in my first year teaching 9th grade Algebra 1.
How's your first year been?
My experience thus far has been filled with challenges and new opportunities to adapt our instruction to a new way of educating our students.
What experience will you be sharing with us today?
I'll be sharing on an experience where I overplanned and the students didn't meet my lesson expectations or my objectives.
What happened?
I spent 2 days planning my lesson for my observation in January, and I was so excited to have the opportunity for my students to work most of the class in their breakout rooms. In math, there are limited opportunities to have group projects or team collaborative assignments. I broke them out into small groups and strategically placed my top 5 students in the same breakout room as my observation administrator. That breakout room was absolutely silent the majority of the time, while other rooms were more actively working together. It was hilarious and an ironic disaster.
Wow, how did that make you feel?
Well, I was embarrassed and nervous. This was my opportunity to provide a good experience for my assistant principal, and my strategies and expectations were incorrect and they backfired. I think the observer must have been shocked and curious about if this was a normal occurrence or not, but I'm sure that they were quite surprised to hear a very silent room.
Did anything go well?
Well, what went well though was that after we all got back together in a whole group session, they all became more active, even including those students that was actually in the breakout room.
What happened to turn things around?
Oh, I believe it went well during that time because most of my classes are whole group sessions, and they are more comfortable in the larger session mid-year than they were probably in a smaller session or smaller group sizes when we rarely did small group breakout sessions for math.
What did you learn?
I learned that you cannot manufacture students. They will be who they are and may always surprise you. As a teacher, I learned that I need to treat each student as unique daily. Because one day the student may be active and the next day they may feel less inclined to participate. Setting up an inclusive atmosphere and environment from the very beginning of the year and modeling the behavior we want, whether it's in small groups, large groups, etc., I think it really is extremely important.
What would you do differently next time?
Honestly, I wouldn't do anything different. It was the learning outcome I needed. I thought I was planning a lesson for my students. However, I was setting myself up for a lesson from my students. It was a great experience for my first year. I appreciate my students for being my teacher that day.
What a great lesson. Thank you, Mr. Hines.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
In the description box below, I have provided a link where you can access a downloadable template that follows Gibbs' reflective cycle. You may use this template to document and learn from your own experiences. Our third mindset hack, teacher as co-learner. There are two approaches one can take to teaching. The guide on the side models learning for students, incorporates team-based and project learning, while engaging students via technology-infused instruction. The sage on the stage is the traditional stand and deliver teaching model. This method of teaching personifies the teacher as the master of the knowledge and makes learning less engaging. Think about the following statement. Tell me and I will forget. Show me and I will remember. Involve me and I will learn. Which approach do you believe is most effective? The sage on the stage or the guide on the side? Embodying the role of a co-learner means you must check your pride at the door. As teachers, there is a pressure to be an expert in every area of our field, but it's okay to admit what you don't know. Also, facilitate and inspire creativity in your students. You'll be surprised how innovative your students are when given the room to be creative. Lastly, participate in professional learning communities. As teachers, we should model effective learning practices for our students. And there's no better way to do this than to model lifelong learning. Professional learning communities are a great way to keep up a lifestyle of learning. In summary, the growth mindset is the psychology for success. The more reflective you are, the more effective you are. And lastly, as co-learners, we model effective learning processes for our students.
Thank you for watching 3 Mindset Hacks for the Successful First-Year Teacher. Feel free to rewatch any part of this video as many times as you need. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with any teacher who would be encouraged by this video. For more resources on the topics discussed, check out the references in the description box. I really enjoyed making this video, and I'll catch you on the next one.